بعد سلسلة من العمليات النوعية عادت صباح اليوم وحدات من الجيش العربي السوري بالتعاون مع الدفاع الوطني الأمن والاستقرار إلى مدينة يبرود ومحيطها في الريف الشمالي لمدينة دمشق.
The General Command of Army and Armed Forces says in a statement that the new accomplishment by the Syrian Arab Army in Yabroud comes to complete the achievements against the terrorists in El Qalamoun. The Syrian Arab Army restores security and stability to Yabroud after eliminating large numbers of terrorists. The People's Assembly continues discussing the articles of a draft law on general elections and adopts the articles between 68 and 88. Good afternoon, welcome to our news bulletin. I'm Dalia Nizam. In a statement, the General Command of the Army and the Armed Forces said that after a series of successful operations, the Syrian Arab Army, in cooperation with the civil defense units, restored security and stability to the city of Yabroud and its surroundings in the northern parts of Damascus Countryside, after eliminating a large number of mercenary terrorists who had holed up in the city and used it as a passage for the flow of weapons and terrorists into Syria. The General Command added in its statement today that this new accomplishment, which led to the collapse of the terrorist groups, comes to complete the victories achieved by the Syrian Arab Army in the area of El Qalamoun against the terrorists' gatherings and hideouts, and it constitutes an important step in securing the border areas with Lebanon, cutting off the supply roads and tightening the grip on the remaining terrorists' hotbeds in Damascus Countryside. It also contributes in enhancing the security of the international road between the southern and central areas. The statement concluded by saying that as the General Command of the Army and the Armed Forces stresses that defeating terrorism in Yabroud and its surroundings constitutes a crucial blow for the terrorists, their supporters and funders, it reiterates its determination to hunt the remnants of the terrorist groups, to eradicate their roots and to save the homeland of their evil acts, vowing to restore security and stability to the beloved country. The Syrian Arab Army maintained full control over Yabroud and started combing the area and defusing explosive devices.
Syrian Arab Army maintained full control over the city of Yabroud in Damascus Countryside and has started to comb the city, removing explosive devices which were planted by the terrorists. Syrian Arab Army eliminated large numbers of terrorists and arrested others during the combing operations. Besides, it defused many explosive devices which were planted by the terrorists in the town. Syrian Arab Army also targeted a terrorist gathering in the area between Fleta and the Lebanese Arsal, which witnessed several movements by the armed terrorist groups, as a number of people who fled Yabroud had access into the refugee camps in Wadi Hmeid. Maintaining control over Yabroud by the Syrian Arab Army had strategic importance that lies in cutting the links among the terrorist groups in this area, starting from Qara, Deir Atiyah, Al-Nabak, towards Jib'adin, Ma'lula, Rankous, Saydnaya and Telfita to reach Halboun and Wadi Barada, which are geographically connected with the Lebanese Arsal. On the other hand, this control maintained by the Syrian Arab Army helps in completely securing the safety of the international road between Damascus and Homs, and also preventing the flow of weapons and armed terrorists into Syria.
In Homs, 15 gunmen turned themselves in and their weapons to authorities in the neighborhoods of the old city. The Syrian Arab Army units foiled an armed terrorist group's attempt to infiltrate from the Al-Khalidiyya and Al-Ghasbiyya to Al-Dwair area from Al-Dar al-Kubra to the secured villages and the electricity station to the north of Homs city. A worker was injured by a mortar shell launched by terrorists and landed in a park near Al-Shallal roundabout in Mazra neighborhood in Damascus. The terrorists also fired a mortar shell that landed on a house near Jahiz Park, causing material damage only. The citizens of Damascus City took to the streets in the Sabah Bahrat Square in support of the Syrian Arab Army in its war against terrorism to restore security and stability to Syria and maintain the national principles. The People's Assembly in its session headed by Speaker Mohammed Jihad al-Laham continued to discuss the draft law on the general elections after approving 60 of its articles during 2 successive sessions. The People's Assembly adopted the articles relating to the electoral process, counting of votes, announcing results, and the cases of appeals challenging the validity of the election process, as well as issues relating to referendum and others. Deputy Foreign Minister Dr. Faisal al-Miqdad discussed with Sigrid, the Special Coordinator of the Joint Mission, the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, OPCW, and the United Nations, Syria's commitment to the Chemical Weapons Prohibition Agreement. Dr. al-Miqdad asserted Syria's commitment to implement the pledges related to this file, despite the very difficult circumstances. Al-Miqdad pointed to some countries' attempts to politicize this file, although Syria was very cooperative with this joint mission of the OPCW and the UN. The Special Coordinator praised Syria's cooperation and commitment in addition to the achievements being made. She also expressed readiness to make all the required efforts to remove the obstacles and cooperate more with the Syrian authorities to reach the mutual goal, adding that the international community appreciates the progress that has been made so far. Moving to the north of Lebanon, the city of Tripoli is in cautious stillness after clashes that took place since Thursday and continued until last night, killing 12 people and wounding 57 others. Snipers killed a Lebanese soldier this morning while the Lebanese army surrounds the vegetables market in Tripoli after armed men targeted vehicles carrying soldiers last night with mortar shells and grenades, killing a soldier and wounding 6 others. The Ministry of Electricity showed that the Syrian government can never privatize a vital sector such as the electricity one, but it can make the private sector share in providing the best services to citizens and achieving integration between the private and the public sectors. After the break, we will continue with the economic news with Fani. Thank you for watching us. God bless you.